Alrighty, y'all. Welcome to Q Sports Live Q&A regarding the CSL IPL, also known as the Q Sports Live International Pool League. What's going on, Mr. Kwan? How are you? And Michael, is it May 3rd yet?
Soon.
Yeah, it's coming pretty quick. Just under a week, I think.
A week from tomorrow will be the start of play.
Yeah, so we're just going to kind of let it build up a little bit, and then we're going to get into kind of the nitty-gritty of the Q Sports Live International Pool League. What's involved, how you can get in, what divisions, the qualifications.
And we are following the comments on the Facebook and the YouTube, so make sure you guys ask lots of questions.
Indeed.
We won't have all the answers, but we'll have most of them.
Yeah. We might rely on y'all for a couple of answers. For those that don't know, my name is Grant. I'm sitting beside the one and only Mr. Ben Franchise Francis.
Thanks, everyone, for tuning in on this Sunday afternoon.
Indeed.
Lots of stuff to go over, but we won't keep you guys all afternoon.
It could be lengthy, I guess, depending on the type of questions and how many and so on and so forth. So I'm just going to dive in, let you know what is the CSL IPL. CSL IPL stands for the Q Sports Live International Pool League. It was started, of course, by Q Sports Live. Started just before, I guess it was maybe mid-November, early November when you and I were talking on what we could do, how we could do it, so on and so forth. And so we kind of were a little bit, I guess, dry for live sessions with Q Sports Live, and kind of figured this would be a way that we could go live and get some pool action going, because there was nothing going on. So we came up with the concept, the idea. We started session 1 on January 4th, I believe it was session 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of our inaugural dipping our toe into the league world. It is a BCA sanctioned league as well, and we'll kind of dive into what that means going down the road. But that's pretty much what it is. And it is a ghost league. You play at either your home or pool hall or wherever you have access to a table. It's open to any player around the world. We do have players pretty much from all over the world.
We had a lot of different countries in session 1, and
Mm-hmm.
we have even more in session 2 coming.
Correct. Yeah. So it is playing the Ghost, a couple of different games depending on what division you're in. For Division 2 and lower, it's either 8-ball or 9-ball. Division 1 and higher at this point is 10-ball. We are looking at adding 8-ball in for session 3 for the higher divisions. And we also have the juniors going. Juniors will be 17 and under and 13 and under. And juniors will always play for free. So if you do have juniors that have an interest in the game, get them in, because I'll tell you, playing the league and playing against the Ghost competitively does phenomenal things for your game. I think we discussed, or Ben was talking about this last night on CSL After Dark, to perfect practice.
It is really the best form of practice is playing the Ghost. And I know a lot of really top players, that's what they do when they practice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because running out is the biggest part of the game, really making the balls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Couple of questions there.
Yeah. What was the average weekly score Division 2 last session? I don't have those stats available.
Yeah, we don't have them on hand, but
yeah, if you want to message us that question, Chad, and I can get you what the stats are. But if you're trying to calculate, and this is one of the things that we kind of found out really early, as much as we do use a Fargo rating as kind of a base knowledge of skill to kind of put you into a division, it really doesn't translate, going from a live Fargo rating into ghost play. They don't really talk as far as skill level, because there is differences in the two games and how you play live versus how you play in the Ghost.
Absolutely. And so Bill's question, can one who has no established rating play? At first, in the first session, we had all the players with no established rating start in Division 2. So an established Fargo is anything over 200 games. Robustness, they call it.
Yep.
And so they would be starting in Division 2, but now we're going to use sort of a known ability thing. So if you know one of the players that's in the league,
or if you play in a league and that league coordinator that runs your league that you play in, if they want to get a hold of us and give us a base understanding of your skill, then yeah, we can apply known ability, or a player can apply known ability.
A player can apply, or if we happen to know the player, of course, then
yeah,
then we're willing to do that. But we're trying to keep it fair for everyone. So the best way is with the Fargo rating base to start.
Yeah. Now I'll say this: if you fall kind of right on the line, and we had this actually come up yesterday or the day before, I can't remember, but somebody was right on the line of either playing in Division 4 or Division 3, and we don't feel it's appropriate for a new player that we don't know your skill or ability playing against the Ghost to start them in the lower division. That person would then start in Division 3.
We just try to keep it fair for everyone. And once we've seen players play a session or two in the Ghost League, then we'll have a really good idea what division they belong in anyway. So Fargo is more just a way to start.
Yeah, it just kind of gives us a base knowledge of what your skills are, right? And from there, we can kind of determine where you should be. A lot of trust goes into both Ben and I, as well as Mick. We're the three presidents or three owners of the league and Q Sports Live, and a lot of trust does go in. And so you can talk to the players in session 1. We do try to make it as fair as possible. We want this league to be for the players. This is for you, and we're willing to take criticism, constructive criticism. We want it to be the best thing for you guys, right? And the players that played in session 1, we can't thank you enough for putting your trust in us, putting your faith in us, and I think session 1 went off really well.
And sort of on that note too, everybody who did play in session 1, they certainly really enjoyed it. And they're a testament to how much their game improved as well, because some of those guys are out there playing live tournaments now and shooting really well.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of benefits to playing in the league outside of the great prize money. I mean, the juniors play for free, but there's going to be lots of great prizes like cues and cases and gloves and all kinds of different stuff there. So
yeah,
we actually had Man and Q's donate a bunch of Predator second skin
right there
junior gloves. They're awesome.
Yeah, those are all for juniors. So we have a case full of these, both right-handed and left-handed. And for the juniors that do play in the league, those they'll get automatically, I believe. We're just going to send them out. And if your junior doesn't have a cue of his own or her own, let us know. We will make sure that they have a cue that they can call their own.
We have some other great sponsors that have donated some junior cues. Lance Bromland,
yep,
as well as Nick's Q Innovation has agreed to do all the repairs as well. So if they have a cue, but maybe it needs a new tip or the shaft needs cleaned, stuff like that, Nick's agreed to do those things at no cost for the juniors.
Nice. So with that being said, we'll kind of show you all the different leagues, the divisions, kind of what that entails. Because I know we've got one question from Chris. He is a 562 right now. What division would you be in? As you can see, with a 562 rating, you would be in Division 3. Right? So long as that's an established rating. Has to be established rating. So you do have pro divisions. I can say, you've got the likes of Tyler Steyer, who is the face of Q Sports Live in the United States. Obviously, he's going to be playing. The fellow sitting beside me, Mr. Ben Francis will be playing. Corey Duell, Alex Olinger, Demetrius Gelatos, to name a few. So it is growing. We're highly anticipating some good growth for session 2. As far as cost goes, we did pretty severely lower the costs from session 1 to session 2.
At the request of the players, we made a few adjustments from session 1 to session 2. One of them was the cost. The other was the number of weeks played.
Yep.
So we took their suggestions and gave them what they wanted.
Well, and I think a lot of that came from the standpoint of the players that were playing session 1 that wanted to come back in session 2 and play both 8 and 9 ball.
Mm-hmm.
The prices that we had set in session 1 was a little bit tough to swallow both.
It was a little tough, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we don't want to be, eliminating players from playing what you want to play because of cost. If we need to lower costs, we'll lower costs.
And on that note, while we're there, the reason we use US dollar instead of Canadian dollar, you guys might be wondering, is just it's the most universal currency.
It is. We collect currency from all over the world.
I don't think if we lived in, say, Mexico, we could use pesos as the universal currency for the league. So we're just trying to use what's easiest for everyone.
Yeah,
so to answer your question there, Chris, sorry, Grant.
Yeah, no, that's
with
all
a
good.
211 robustness and a 562,
Yeah.
you would be in Division 3.
Yeah. So you're in. So to register is really, really simple. There's actually 2 steps to register. So when you go onto the website, www.cslipl.com, you click on the division that you want to enter. So right up at the top, it'll say register now. Click on that. Then you'll see all the different divisions. Click on the division that you want to enter. And there's 2 steps on that page. The first thing to do is scroll down. Once you scroll down, the player information form, that will pop up. Fill that in. If you're playing both 8 and 9 ball, it's 1 form per game. So if you're playing both, fill that form out twice. Then you go back up scroll back up the page, you'll see the add to cart button. That's how you pay the fees. Just click the add to cart button, enter, whether you're playing 8 ball, 9 ball, both, what have you, and follow the steps, and that's it. You're in. We start May 3rd. One of the best parts about the league, and I know Ben wants to jump in on this too, one of the best parts about the league is, especially with the ghost part, we don't set the time. You have a full week, go live whenever works for you. We don't set the time that you go live. It's at your convenience, whenever you feel. We've got players that play at 1 or 2 in the morning, right?
And it's quite simple. You just go live from your phone or a camera onto the private Facebook group, and then the other players in the group can watch you play, verify your scores, and we kept it really simple.
Yeah.
So you don't need to be too tech savvy to figure it out.
Correct. And it is a private players page, and I want to touch on this as well. There are reasons that we keep the player page private. There's 2 of the main reasons. The first one is based on our experience. We've traveled around all over Canada and the United States. We've done numerous, events and live streaming, and you always do get those few guys that like to come in and have negative comments and have nothing really good to say or positive to say.
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah. And we don't want our players kind of exposed to that. I don't think it's a good thing. I don't think it's positive. We ask our players that are involved in the league and on that page, if you've got something negative to say, you can email or message us, and we'll take that. But don't comment negative on players that are playing.
And it should be noted that in session 1, the players were incredible
it was phenomenal.
with each other.
Yeah,
the camaraderie
really
was
supportive.
It was so great to see. They're cheering each other on, and
really supportive for sure.
It was great. I've not seen anything like that in a pool league before.
So the other reason is for the players that are in the league, we are giving special deals and promos and so on and so forth that are only open to the players. So without having a private way of doing that, it kind of limits our ability to make those offers. So we did keep it. It's a private page, and that's where you go live from. It's quite simple.
And the third reason is there were a handful of players that didn't want the whole world watching them play their league games.
Yeah.
So if we had it open to everyone, it kind of brought up that issue as well.
Yeah.
And then now with the junior starting, that brings up another issue where it kind of needs to be a private page as well. So
yeah. Yes. So if you're playing both, so it's $175 for 8 ball, $175 for 9 ball.
Right. in Division 3.
Correct.
That is correct. Norm, we're not 100% sure how many players in Div 1 so
Yeah.
far. There's a few that we know are playing who haven't registered yet.
Yeah. So, I mean, typically with registration numbers, especially in the higher divisions, so your pros, the semi-pros, Division 1 players, those guys, it's kind of like herding cats at times,
sure.
right? They always wait till the last second, who's in, so
And
to
Norm,
answer you now would be a little bit misleading as far as how many players are in.
so just for an example, in the last session, with 1 week to go, with registering, we were at around 45 players.
Yeah.
By the end of that week, we were at 95 players.
Yeah.
So
it doubled.
People just like to wait till the last minute. And Norm knows well from playing, all these live tournaments that people love to wait till the last minute to register. So to answer Thomas's question there, how do I get on the private Facebook page? It is once you have paid, sir. Once you are registered and paid.
Then I send you an email. It's a player information email, and it'll have everything in there. Now, I have to touch on this because Sean Blomley touched on it. Got one emailed score sheet. Just save it twice. No. I have to kind of revise even the one that you do have. I realized after I sent out the score sheets that we changed the rules for 8-ball and 9-ball, and we added bonus points. So those score sheets, unfortunately, don't really mean a whole lot. So I've got to redo all of those score sheets, do all the math in there, and all the calculations. So for anybody that has got that player email, just disregard that score sheet. I'll send out both 8-ball and 9-ball. Score sheets.
You'll be getting another email, Sean. We'll make sure you have it well before the league starts. So. And yes, Chad, all ball fouls. And the reason we have to do that is because moving balls back where they may have been playing the ghost
opens up
impossible.
It just opens up a can of worms. We try to level the playing field as far as rules and how do you best police it, and all of those type of issues that potentially could arise. We try to eliminate those so that it's pretty smooth sailing.
We made the rules in a way that they make perfect sense. So if you think about maybe spotting a ball, how could you spot a ball if there's 4 balls around the rack spot? How could the ghost agree that the spot is correct? So the same with kind of moving balls. And
we try to make it very logical.
And the way the scoring is worked, so it's really just think about what would make the most sense with the rule, and that's usually what it is.
Yeah.
And so we're not trying to be harsh on the all ball fouls. It's just the way that makes the most sense and the most fair for everyone.
Yeah.
So that brings up a good rule for 8-ball too. If you make the 8 on the break, what happens? The problem is spotting the 8 is impossible, so you do have to re-break. And to run out the rack with keeping the 8 down is too easy. So making the 8 on the break will have to be a re-break.
That's updated. So all of the rules have been updated on the website. I think I finished that yesterday. So all the new score sheets are out on the website for both 8-ball and 9-ball, all divisions, including 10-ball for Division 1 and higher. But all of that is done, and we tried to make it as logical as possible.
And it really does make sense. We didn't have many rule issues in the first session, and the ones that we did have were minimal and mostly we had thought of everything, which is hard to believe.
Yeah, right. For new players coming in, know that if there is something that happens, so if you're playing a match and you're not sure, did I bump that ball or did I not? Play through it, right? Because we'll get messages. I guarantee you we'll get messages whether Ben and I are watching that match or not. You're always going to have people watching your matches. There's no doubt. So somebody will say and message, and they'll probably comment on your match, but then they'll message us and say, hey, look, review this shot in this match at this time, and we'll go back and review it. Anything that does come up that potentially maybe it was a foul, maybe not, we take that into review. There is a board of people. It's not just myself and Ben. We have certified refs that help us with those calls. So if there is something that comes up, we've got the answer for that too.
Shout out to Wayne Knight there.
Yes.
one of our volunteer refs.
Yeah. And yes, Sean Blomley, I'm spamming you. Along with however many other people I emailed that day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And are going to email again.
Right. Yeah. What's going on, Sean Yee? What else did we have on our list to go over? Oh, the single session sneak a peek. So this was brought up in session 1, and we weren't really sure what to do with it, how to do it, and so on and so forth. So what we've decided is if you don't want to play the league, but you want to watch the league and watch the players and have something to watch other than Q Sports Live After Dark, we will sell single session sneak a peeks, and they're going to be $20. Out of that $20, there's $7.50 that gets added to the junior program, and then there's $7.50 that we add to the prize pool, and that'll be evenly distributed among all the divisions.
And yes, correct there. Don answered Chad's question. If you make the 9 on the break, it stays down, you keep shooting. Same if you combo in the 9 or the 10 early in the rack, it stays down. Because again, spotting a ball doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So again, 8 ball is a little bit different. You make the 8 off the break, automatic re-break.
And there's some cheesy ways to soft break and make an early combo. So we don't like it being just that the game is won either. And I know some people can fix the rack and make the 9 on the break quite often too.
For sure.
So with, of course, rack your own because you're playing the ghost, we have to be careful on the rules that they're fair for everyone.
Mm-hmm. We want to have a level playing field, right? And you'll find if you're a new player coming into the league, we've got all kinds of things that are coming down the lines for those that did play in session 1, and for those that are coming into session 2. We just didn't release this and say, hey, this is going to be something that we do to pass the time for COVID. This is something that will extend far beyond when the pandemic is in the rearview mirror. The Ghost League will always be here. We think it's viable, go forward, even post-pandemic. But know that once the pandemic is well into the rear view, that we will be the same as every other league. You'll be able to play teams. It'll be live, local at your local pool hall, so on and so forth. So,
but we'll still do the Ghost online
100%.
league. I really think it can grow to something absolutely massive with some incredible prize money.
Yeah.
Which I really look forward to.
100%.
And right. I know, like, even, we both have boys that enjoy the game, so I hope by the time they're, in their 20s, early 20s, that there's some huge prize money and it's worth playing, right?
Well, and I mean, our goals go far beyond kind of what you get to see, right? What you get to see is the stuff that we're comfortable in releasing and things that we know that we can do and so on and so forth. But our overall goal, if we were to go over everything that we want to accomplish, you'd think we're nuts, right? And that's exactly, just so you know, when Tyler Steyer agreed to come on as the face of the league for the United States, I did go into detail. I told him everything that we want to accomplish, how we're going to do it, the money involved, so on and so forth. And he politely said that I was crazy. And, and I may be, I don't know, but my driving force behind perhaps me being crazy and wanting to accomplish what I want to accomplish is exactly what Ben alluded to. I've got 2 kids. They're, 11 and 8 years old. And when they get to the point where, like Ben said, they're in their 20s and they're trying to make choices, and if they choose that they want to play pool professionally, I want it to mean something. Right? I don't want it to be the same as it is today, where kind of the higher up you go and the more talented you get, the less opportunity you have for money. Right? And that, to me, is a broken system. It's a broken and flawed way of doing things. And, I've got some pretty big goals that we want to accomplish.
That's why you'll see us doing lots of different things for the juniors. Yep. We raised a fair chunk of prizes for them for session 1 of the juniors, start of session 2, but session 1 for them.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep doing things like those, little fundraisers, little challenge matches, different stuff to raise money for the juniors, because
They're important.
It's the most important thing
Yeah.
in the game. You can't grow any game without starting at the bottom. So
Yeah. Well, and I mean, we're not solely just focused on juniors, but they are certainly a very important part of what it is that we're doing. But we're working on other things too, right? Other benefits, other things for players, and that goes from juniors right up through to pro level players.
well, and I mean, I've been on the cusp of being a professional pool player for quite a few years now. I think it's really important that there's a big benefit to becoming a pro, and there needs to be
financial reward there.
well, and also there needs to be like a definition
Yeah.
of what it means to be a professional pool player. Right now, it's such a gray area. It's like if you have a full-time job, then you're not a professional pool player.
Well,
If pool is your full-time job,
right?
then
How do
you're
you define
professional,
that?
apparently.
Right? Do you define that on the fact that, Ben, you happen to be a 728 Fargo rating, and
Right.
some people say that if you're ever over a 720,
yeah,
that you're a pro
you're
player.
A pro, yeah.
But how many pro tournaments have you toured to? How many times have you gone and entered, right?
And how many 720s do I know that have full-time jobs? And they're like
Exactly.
concrete workers
Yeah.
and stuff, right? They can't play perfect pool all the time.
That's
but
it. That's it. So, I
but
mean,
they're
we want to
skilled
change
players,
that,
right?
We
Yeah.
want to change that. We want it to mean something where if you're a pro player, there's a card there that
There's
says you're a
benefits,
pro
and a
player.
lot
You
of
get benefits with
Yeah.
it. You know, and we're working on some things with some companies and things that I can't really mention right now. But when the time comes and the time is right, we will certainly let you know kind of what our plans are and what we're doing. But
And
in the meantime and in between time,
And
this
so
is where we're at.
just a few benefits from playing in the league, the benefits that we offer the league players, or someone like Gord who wants to pay the $20 and get the single session sneak a peek, he'll be offered the same discounts and offers as all the other players. So they'll include discounted lessons from guys
Right
like
here.
Tyler Steyer.
Yeah.
There'll be shirts from Jam Up. You're going to have discounts from
Cues, cases,
everything you can think of.
Yeah.
So, and we're working on more and more every day. So there are lots of benefits to playing the league.
Mm-hmm. The only thing I wish right now is there was more than 24 hours in a day,
Right.
because then I could put in more time. But, you know, unfortunately, I'm restricted to 24 hours in a day, and believe me, I'll accomplish everything I can accomplish to make this the best dang thing that you've ever been a part of.
Grant works 18 of those hours. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I work a lot.
So Sean's got a question. He says he knows there was no back-to-back playing in session 1, but I'm playing 8-9 ball. I can shoot 9, then stream right away and play 8 right after. Absolutely, Sean. So we did have a rule in session 1. If you're playing only 9 ball, we would prefer that you don't play back-to-back weeks in the same day.
Correct.
Try to spread them out a little. So we do give a little bit of leeway. You don't have to play once a week. You have one extra week.
Yeah. You can always
to
miss
do
a
a
week.
makeup match. Or if you have medical issues, family issues, personal stuff, maybe you're a road player. We do want to make sure that the road players are taken care of. If they need to like go on the road for a month, they can play 2 weeks early and 2 weeks when they get back.
Yep.
To
That
catch
covers
up
your
for
month.
their month.
Yep.
We'll definitely
There's always going to be exceptions to the rule.
we'll be flexible. The
Yep.
biggest thing is being flexible with the players. So
Yeah.
we don't
So,
want
I
to
mean-
restrict when you have to play. So
No.
it's the best thing about the league.
Even when you're live, right? We've said that it has to be a continuous live stream, so you can't end it and then restart it and have that count. Now, if the internet drops off, what do?
Things
Right?
happen. Yeah.
Things happen. If you're playing your match and you know something happens with a son, a daughter, a wife, a husband, or what have you, don't play. Go attend to them. Let us know, hey, look, this is what happened. I had to stop the stream and so on and so forth. Take care of that, right? Don't think you're locked in, right? There's always going to be exceptions to the rule. That being said, the cheater policy, and I'm going to bring it up right now, the cheater policy that we do have is really heavy-handed, and we have to make it that way, right? I don't like being heavy-handed, but I will protect the player integrity above all. And so the the cheater policy is this. If any player is found to be cheating, it is an immediate lifetime ban from the league with a forfeit of any and all cash money. You know, you got
That-
no claim to nothing.
That includes your entry fee as well as any prize money you might
Correct.
be
Yeah.
eligible for.
Yeah. So, you know, it is heavy-handed. So
And it should be noted that it's not easy to cheat this format.
no.
So, and another note should be that we didn't have one single player even try anything funny in session 1. Out of
Not
105 players, not one instance.
Yeah.
Which I thought was impressive as well.
Correct.
Players calling themselves on fouls, and it ran so smooth. Honestly, could not have ran smoother. Wasey, you got to get signed up, pal. Talk your pals into it too.
Sean, you have to be committed. He said his wife fell down the stairs when he was playing, and he
Finished his
stayed
match.
the course, man. You got to be committed.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's what we don't want you guys to do.
Yeah,
Make
right.
sure she's okay.
Don't use that
first.
as an example, right?
And Gord, you're absolutely right. CSL, IPL can't help but make better players, and it is great. And Grant and I talk about this all the time. You probably heard us preaching this for 4 or 5 years, but having the ability to go back and watch yourself play,
Yeah,
I even preached
huge.
it last night because
Huge.
Kevin kept making the same mistake.
Yeah.
He would go 2 rails and overrun and end up behind the 10, and you always want to be above it.
Yep.
And he was always behind it. And I
Yep.
thought if he goes back and looks, he's going to work on that shot.
100%. Yeah.
But if
It
you
is-
but
yeah.
if you didn't have the ability to look, you kind of get caught up in the moment and you
For
don't
sure.
realize the mistakes that you're making.
Yeah.
You might make the same mistake over and over again. He did. He probably did it 5 times.
Yeah.
The
It is so
same
true.
shot
Yep.
overran, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's some of the best advice I ever got was record yourself playing.
It's so underrated. There's a lot of good things about it. You can see the decision making. So maybe you're making bad decisions. Maybe you're rushing. Maybe your pace is off.
Right?
Maybe you're standing crooked.
Yeah.
Maybe
it
your
gives
elbow-
you so much info.
Maybe your shoulder always drops. Maybe you always twist your wrist, but you can't always feel it when you're in the moment. So
Yeah.
another great benefit of playing the Ghost.
Yes. Now
And here's another good benefit of playing the Ghost in the live league session is when you go to a pool tournament, a live
yeah.
pool tournament, and suddenly you're on the TV table.
no problem.
It's not going to bother you as much. You have a little experience playing in front of the camera with lots of
Correct.
people watching.
Correct.
And you're going to have like Tyler Steyer watching your matches, and like Corey Dewell might tune in and watch a little. Margaret, myself, Grant, of course, going to be watching. We're
Yeah.
judging you.
Yeah.
It'll make you a little nervous, right? But it's good. That's going to make you guys much, much better players.
See, there you go. There's Eric Ritter, one of the players from session 1. He says, "I'm not great. I'm in Division 4, but I've improved a ton after session 1." Awesome. Those are the things. You know what? That's what I do this for. That's what we do this for.
Absolutely.
Right? We want to push you to be the best player you can be, and proof is in the pudding, as far as I'm concerned.
100%. I think a lot of the players can say the same thing. I'd love to hear one player say that they didn't improve
Yeah.
over
You
the
have
course
to.
of that session.
You have to.
For sure, everyone.
Right,
did.
and maybe you can't test that until things open up and you can go and play in a live tournament and put what you've learned to the test. But you can't play this league and not improve. It's almost impossible to do that. Now that being said, one of the other bonuses, benefits, what have you, for playing in this league, if you play 2 out of the first 3 sessions, so you still have time. 2 out of the first 3 sessions, we're going to have an invitational event. It will be a Ghost event. It'll be an invitational with added money for all of those players that have played 2 out of the first 3 sessions.
A singles tournament.
Yeah.
It'll be like a small entry fee, affordable. It won't be like $350 or probably not even $100. So
Yeah, just small, but added money.
just a little something for the players that have been loyal, that have played 2 of the 3 sessions. And we understand players can't play every session. We have a lot of players, because summer's coming up, they're going to play golf all summer. They don't want to play pool. That's fair. We know that's always going to be the case.
Yeah.
I'll let you answer
yeah.
Chad's question there. You're good
yeah.
at this one.
Yeah. The answer to that, Chad, is both yes and no. I'll tell you, we are working right now to have a league-specific Fargo rating in place with Fargo. But when you look at the algorithms associated with live play, they do not translate into ghost play. So there is statistical data that we gather, obviously, with ghost play, and you can take that blended average, especially over the course of time. You can come up with the numbers required in order to say that, okay, Chad is X in a live Fargo rating, he is X in a ghost setting, and therefore a blended average of this, right? Those algorithms can work, they will work. I am trying my dangest to make this happen with Fargo.
They're very, very busy.
That's the problem.
They have a lot going on, as you guys can imagine.
Yeah, that is the absolute problem. And I won't say what company it is, but it's a big company that has kind of put the heat on Fargo to get some things done for them. And so they've pretty much pushed everybody else aside, and that's what they're working on. So, will there come a point in time where we have league-specific Fargo rating geared to specific ghost play? Yes, hopefully. If not, we will have our own internal rating that you can then translate from ghost play, and this is what it should translate to versus live play, right? Because they'll have one half of the equation, we'll have one half of the equation. We can come up with that blended average, and
ideally, we're going to get into live play.
Yeah.
And we'll have our own ratings for you guys, similar to like an APA average kind of thing.
Yep.
But it'll be you'll have a CSL IPL rating.
Correct.
And then you'll never think about Fargo again.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, Warren, there is some aspect to that is correct in trying to figure out the algorithm.
They've been working on that. I know.
We have to work on that, right? I know that's how they do it with Fargo on live play. Mm-hmm. The problem is they don't have enough statistical data for ghost play to kind of make that translation. That's our half.
And
right?
I know it was only about maybe 3 years ago that Mike Page was requesting people to send in their ghost matches so he could try to figure out what the ghost Fargo rating is. If he could figure out what the ghost rating is, then your matches would count. But
yep,
I don't think they're still working on that. They're waiting. They need a lot of info to figure out what the ghost rating would be.
Yes. So while we're on the topic of Fargo, I'm going to kind of switch over and go to BCA and with us being BCA sanctioned and what that means and kind of where things are at with BCA and the sanctioning. So in session 1 and with us being BCA sanctioned, again, same rules apply where this is ghost. They have never sanctioned a ghost league before. We're the first. Hats off to us. So we're the first sanctioned ghost league that you could ever join. But again, it's playing the ghost. It's not statistical data enough. So what they said was, depending on the situation with the pandemic, if players that play in our league do not have time enough to get live weeks to qualify for Vegas, they would take our ghost play weeks and count that as weeks played to qualify for singles in Vegas. So, which was awesome. I mean, that's certainly a step in the right direction. However, being the type of people that we are, we weren't satisfied with that. And so we went back to them. I talked to BCA 5 days ago, something like that. And I said, listen, we appreciate it, what you did in session 1, but with the situation as it stands now, with obviously the lockdowns and so on and so forth, still in various stages, still this, still that, I can't tell my players maybe. So I asked them to give me a 100% solid that the players that played in session 1, those weeks will count towards Vegas singles weeks qualifications. I then took it a step farther and I said, look, go forward. If things are still in the same situation, we've got to do something for players that want to go down and play teams in Vegas, especially here in Canada where we're locked down still. And I asked them to consider us putting on 3-man team events. This will happen session 3. 3-man teams, ghost play, and it'll be match play. So, for argument's sake, myself, Ben, and Mick, we form a team. We play here. We go live. We do our match, and it's a match play against another team.
They play
And they play at
live
their location.
Ghost at their location.
Correct.
We play live Ghost at our location.
Yeah.
And we compare scores.
Correct. And at the end of the day, we want that to qualify players for teams to go down to Vegas.
And let me tell you,
or across to Vegas or around to Vegas, wherever you're located.
BCA is going to do that.
100%.
They will. They're not in any position to turn down players who want to play.
Correct.
So
well, and I mean, I didn't want to come across that way, but
it's going to be
reality of the scenario and the situation is exactly
and
that.
Grant's not taking no for an answer.
I'm fairly pushy when I want to get what I want.
And so maybe we can touch on the other league that we're trying to kind of work on, possibly. Do you want to touch on that note?
Which one?
The other sanctioned league? Or not yet?
Not yet. Well,
okay.
You can allude to it.
We could allude to
sure.
Trying.
Can you mute me for 1 second? I got a cough.
So we are working on sanctioning through the other leagues too. Let's just put it that way.
Yes. Yeah. That's a good little segue. Yeah.
All encompassing.
This league.
But we're not just going to focus on BCA.
Yeah.
We do want to make sure that players qualify for all kinds of stuff. If you guys want to play, we want to make it so you can.
Correct. Because let's be honest. I mean, we didn't start this league just as a pastime. This wasn't something that we just threw together as something to do to pass the time. Well, we're all dealing with various stages of this pandemic. This is something that we will carry forward well beyond when the pandemic's in the rear view. And the Ghost League, like I said, will always be a part of what we do because we think it's viable. We can reach areas all over the world and kind of bring players together. We break down the barriers. We break down the borders. And that's what we want. We want it to be a worldwide system, a worldwide function. That should give you an indication is if we can accomplish that on a pretty big scale, that's where we have the opportunity and the ability to then really start doing effective change, right? And, that's kind of what our goal is. So the Ghost will always be here. We will separate. We will have the Ghost division. We will then have live play, and that's teams, singles, all of them, right? And I think that's a good little segue into perhaps session 3, maybe session 4, where we start introducing games like One Pocket, Straight Pool, all the games that you want to play, you'll be able to play.
Options. People love options. I like how Ian said Grant Zemp for Emperor. Because
no Emperor. I mean,
we're headed in that direction.
No, we're not. We're not.
We'll have an Emperor.
I don't.
No, not CSL. Like you could be the Emperor of like Canada. Because I think we're headed in that direction.
You think? Yeah. I don't put myself above anybody. I am the same person whether you meet me in person or you see me on the mic. I am the same person. I'm ambitious and I love this game. Right? I don't play at Ben's speed. There's no doubt I cannot play at a 7-8 speed.
You can, just not all the time.
I mean, the stars, the moon, everything has to be in line for me to play at that speed. But my passion for the game, that will rival a 7-8.
It'll try. I don't. Corey talked about this yesterday. He's like, have you been watching the snooker? I'm like, yeah, I watched like the match with Ronnie and blah blah blah. He's like, I thought I watched more pool than anyone, but he's like, you sir, watch more pool than anyone.
It is true. It is true. But I do have a lot of I love the game to the point where I want to change it for the better, and that's my passion. That's my goal. That's what I feel I'm meant to do in life. And I'll accomplish that through various means, and that's through the Ghost League, that's through Live League, that was through Q Sports Live and going live all the time and traveling and doing what we do.
And some of these guys in the chat right now, they can attest to that. They know you well,
They do, yeah.
Wayne Knight, Gord,
yeah,
and Des, they know what we're about. So Good question from Wayne there. If they qualify for BCA, would that include CCS and ACS dual?
Not yet.
We kind of touched on that a little. We're starting with BCA, but we are in contact with the other leagues. How do you know if your Fargo rate is established? Dan wants to know.
It'll say on there.
It'll say
robustness.
Robustness, and if you have 200 robustness or more, then you're established.
Yeah. Now, again, don't get discouraged if you don't have that established rating. All that does is make it easy for us. If you don't have that established rating, if you know a player within the league that's currently playing, they can apply known ability for you, or any league that you've played in before, any of the directors, league coordinators, they can get a hold of us. They can verify your known ability. We can then put you into the proper division. If not, worst case scenario, you come into the league, you start in session 2, you play session 2 for 10 weeks.
Division
2. From Division 2, we can then apply known ability and move you up or down from there.
And we did adjust players after session 1. There were players that moved up and down, and according to their scores, their averages.
Yeah, and same Dan, it'll say robustness. So anything over 200 would be an established rating.
Grant's got to get a crown.
No crown for me. No. I do it because I love it.
So, and if you guys tuned in late to this and we didn't answer some of the questions you may have had, you can always send us a message or shoot us an email. Let us know what you guys think.
So we've got one other thing that I want to go over. And if you look at Q Sports Live right now, I think we're 46,000 and change number of followers to the page. We will be posting out a little bit of a contest this week. We want to make a push, and hopefully y'all can help us out. We want to make a push to 50,000. So we're going to put out a contest that involves a free Q, and there's a bonus prize too. But we want to make that push to 50,000 followers. It's really simple. Go onto the page, hit the like button, and you're good to go. If you do that, when we put the post out, we'll post this on Q Sports Live. Do that, tag 2 friends. At the same time, jump over to the Q Sports Live International Pool League page. Hit a like there.
Like and follow.
A like and follow. We'll give away the Q for Q Sports Live. If you go on to the Q Sports Live International Pool League and you like that page, we will also give away, as soon as we hit that 50,000 mark, we will also give away a free entry into the Q Sports Live International Pool League.
And you guys will see a post about that with all the details probably by tomorrow, I would imagine.
Yep.
Maybe tomorrow evening.
Yep. Lots of stuff to kind of get things moving.
And so sort of on that note too, this is just one of the things we've offered the current league players.
Yep.
So if you played in session 1.
This is open to you.
This is open to you. If you had players refer or use your name as a referral, then you're eligible for a $10 league fee credit for every friend that you have use you as a referral, and $15 for more than 5 players that use you as a referral. So just one of the other benefits of playing in the league. And
so for session 2 players that are just coming in, at the end of session 2, this will then be open to you as well.
For players that sign up for session 3.
Correct. So I think that pretty much gives you some good information as far as who Q Sports Live is, who the CSL IPL is, who both Ben and I are. And, if you do have any questions, if you joined late, I encourage you to go back, have a listen. If you have a question that we didn't answer, in your mouth, not on you. If you have any questions that we didn't answer, by all means, send us a message. Lots of ways you can do it. Email, message the page on any of them. It can be Q Sports Live, Q Sports Live International Pool League. If you happen to have us as friends on Facebook, even if you don't, search us up, hit us up through Facebook. We'll get back to you.
Yeah. Ben Francis, Grant Zemp, Mick Landers, he'll answer your questions too.
You guys are the Microsoft of Ghost Pool League. We're trying, Corey, I can tell you. And, if you've been a viewer or a fan of Q Sports Live for the first 5 or 6 years now prior to, it really does give you a good indication as to who we are, what we do, how we operate. We're not satisfied being the same as everybody else. We will always push to be the best, 100% bar none. Are we going to get it right 100% of the time? First go? Of course not. We have to be realistic. But we will always push to be innovative, always push to be better, bring a better product. That's just who we are. Right? We don't stop at that.
And you guys help us a ton with that, with all the sharing and the following. And we really rely on you guys as well.
Yeah, 100%.
We can come up with all the ideas in the world, but
yeah. And let's not get it twisted, right? As Ben, I think, is going to allude to here, it's all about you guys. We could sit here all day and talk to each other back and forth. Without you guys, without the engagement, without the sharing, without the joining, without everything you guys do, we don't mean nothing.
Yeah, we're nothing, yeah.
Right? So don't think that we're lost in that we don't understand that. We fully get that, which is why we push to do what we do. And if you're a fan, jump on with us. If you're not, let us know why. Right? I've always said this right from the beginning. If you have something positive to say, I want you to tell everybody. Let everybody know. Let your friends know, family, other pool players, let them all know. If you have something that you want to address that you feel is negative, give us that chance, right? We're not perfect. We don't profess to be. What we do profess to be is the guys that will push to make it as best as it possibly can be. So give us the chance. Before any negativity goes out, before a post goes out, give us the chance. Let us try to repair whatever that thing is, whatever that negativity is. Let us fix it, right? That's all we ask. Give us that courtesy, and I'll tell you what, we can change things. We can be really effective in how we work.
Absolutely.
So that's my my spiel for today.
Yeah, I think we covered
yeah,
everything.
Yeah.
Unless you guys got any more questions, we'll leave it open for questions for a couple minutes here.
Caught the end of that contest. Not sure where this needs to be done. So Rocky, just watch for a post on Q Sports Live. We're making a push. We want to get to the 50,000 mark.
Or you can go back and
go back and watch it again.
Watch and listen to the video again if you need to.
Yeah. Who is the CSL champion? There's a few, Des.
There were 5 of them actually.
Yeah, in Division 1 it was Joe Spence. Division 2 7-foot was Adam Wood. Division 2 8+ Mark nope.
Yep.
Division 2 7+, wasn't he 8? Wasn't Jed Lampy?
Yes, Div 2 7 was Adam Wood.
Yeah. Oh, Div 2 8+.
Div 2
yes.
8+ was Mark
Mallet.
Yeah.
Division 3 7-foot, I believe we have to do today, which we just released, so I'm not quite sure who it was.
Yeah, I'm blanking on that too. Wasn't Jed. Jed was 8-foot plus.
Yeah, so he was Div 3 8+ was Jed. Who was Division?
I'm sorry to
3
whoever won
7-foot?
Div 3 7-foot.
Scott Burrs?
No, Scott was Div 2 8-foot plus. Here, why don't we just look it up?
We could do that.
You guys deserve to know.
And it's, fairly easy for us to pull up. Jerry Kinzer. Correct.
Okay, now we don't need to pull it up.
There you go. James Hornby. Thank you, sir.
It was Jerry.
I agree, Corey. Des, brother, get yourself hooked up.
Oh, yeah. This is 9-ball wizard.
Right? Let's go, Mr. Desberry. Get her done. You have till Friday. Everybody has till Friday, just so you know. Deadline, cutoff, Friday at midnight.
If you guys, for some reason, need extra time, shoot us a message.
Yeah, let us know why.
we'll be a little flexible.
Comment on YouTube. Oh, yes.
Lord Scythe on the
Lord
YouTube.
Scythe, indeed.
So any more questions, guys, before we call it a day?
Shoot us up.
Now's the time. Stephanie is going to play.
She is going to play.
And we are going to...
Michelle's going to play.
Open the divisions a little more. We'll look at that towards session 3. We just need to make sure the numbers justify it. But we'll have a ladies division as well as a seniors division.
Yep. May have to divisionalize the seniors.
Mm-hmm.
Senior plus.
Yeah, and the ladies could be divisionalized as well according to skill. Might be 2 divisions of skill level or something like that.
I concur. You guys 100% love this league, and you'll be craving to play more. It's so true, Corey.
100%.
Right? So many of the players, as soon as they played match number 1 and they had to wait. So you look at a guy like Sean Blomley. Okay, now I got to give credit to Sean Blomley. He was the first player, the first session to ever go live for the CSL IPL. So tip of the hat to you, sir.
Gonna be famous one day.
Yep. And so he went first. It was early that Monday morning. I think it was 10 o'clock.
Yeah, he jumped on it right away.
He jumped on it right away and then played his match and had to wait a week to play match 2 and just chomping at the bit.
Oh, he's itching, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
As soon as it was done, he was chomping at the bit.
One of the reasons we brought in the extra game was because the players wanted to play more.
Yeah.
So we thought, well, let's give them another option.
Yeah.
And so now they can play 2 games a week. Rocky, great question. When streaming, does it have to be from our personal profile or can we share from, say, a pool page?
So long as it's consistent. If you're going to go from your your pool page at the start, then keep it consistent throughout.
Personally, I think as long as you title the video properly,
correct,
it doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of players play from Grant's basement here.
Yeah.
And so they were going live from Grant's profile. And we had 10 of them.
Yeah.
But the videos were titled, it would say Grant Zemp is live. But in the title of the video, it would say Lan Fong.
Correct.
Week number, table number, session number, and game played.
Yeah.
Which is all stuff you guys will get in the player package email.
So Tracy, looking at joining, would be interested in the ladies division. Where can I find all of you? How it works? So the ladies division hasn't started yet. We're probably looking session 3 or 4 before that happens. We got to make sure that the numbers are correct. But in the meantime and in between time, if you're looking for information on how it all works, first thing I would do is go back and listen to this as soon as it ends. Tons of information, all good information that you're going to want to know. Or you can take the quick route, www.cslipl.com. There is some information there, or just send us a message. You can send a message to the Q Sports Live page, the Q Sports Live International Pool League page, email, however you want to get a hold of us. We'll get back to you.
Oh, Rocky's putting you on the spot there, Corey.
What?
Is he going to play both 8 and 9 ball? Jim wants to know, when will the packages for session 2 be sent out?
I sent out a few the other day. So here's what I'm going to do. I will send out all emails, hopefully by end of day today. They just won't have the score sheets. Okay. And I'm going to touch on this too. And this is an important point that I don't think we brought up yet. With the score sheets we're hoping is only going to be a thing that needs to be done for about halfway through session 2. We're working right now on having an internet or a website where players go to, and instead of filling out the score sheet, then having to take a picture and send that in to us, you just go to the website, click a button, and you enter in your scores there. It gives you real-time data, so it'll auto-populate everything for you. It'll give you your standings instantly. Everything will be done kind of that way. So hopefully halfway through session 2, we're hoping that all that is done, built, and ready to go. So when that is done, we'll spend the time. We'll go back and we'll put in all the data up until that week. And then from there, we'll let you know, here's the link. much easier to do that with.
You guys will be able to enter your own scores, and they'll be verified by all the other players in the league.
Yeah.
And if there's any scoring issues, they can come to us with them.
Yep.
We can check on them.
Yeah. Which is one of the other things I guess as kind of a closing point that we'll end with. If you do join this league and you're in session 2, highly encouraged, and I don't think I need to do much encouragement as we saw in session 1. But you have a vested interest. You've paid money. There's money to be won. Therefore, you have a vested interest in watching other matches, right? Not that I want, you to be hardened with it, but it's always good to have multiple eyes on all the matches and just make sure everybody's doing what they should be doing.
And it will be, and especially as the group grows bigger.
Yeah.
I know, like, we watched Brad go live this morning to do his makeup match, and there was like 12 people watching.
Yeah.
But by the time that video is done, it's going to have like 50 views within like an hour.
Yeah.
So, and as the group gets bigger, some of your videos might have 100 views.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of people watching.
100%. But you have a vested interest in it.
That is the interest, yeah.
Yeah. So as much as what we watch, and believe me, we watch a lot of matches, as we grow, it will get to the point where it becomes a physical impossibility for myself, Ben, Mick, and, the other people that we have on the admin team to physically watch that many matches, right? It's just impossible. And in session 1, it was pretty awesome to have the players that we did and say, hey, just so you know, this rack, this time, here's the issue, here it is.
Yeah.
Right? And everything was brought to our attention, and it was so awesome.
And oftentimes it was like, maybe a player bumped a ball with their arm when they were down the ball, and they didn't notice. So someone just commented on the video, hey, Bob, you touched this ball, and Bob would go, oh, I didn't realize, and so he would just adjust his score before he sent it to us.
Yeah.
Or things like they made the 9 early, and so they only scored 5 points instead of 6, and somebody commented on there right away, oh, don't short yourself 1 point.
Yeah.
You got 6 there instead of 5, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, the camaraderie that you get, and, we've got a few players on right now that played in session 1. And maybe you guys can comment on this. The camaraderie within this league, to me, it was as close to being as real pool in real competition with going to an atmosphere like Vegas and seeing all your friends, right?
I think it was even
so
better
good,
in some senses.
Yeah.
And just an example, I won't use any names, but we had one player who had a child.
Yep.
And another player sent him a gift for the child.
Yeah.
And
it was
personally
so
messaged
awesome.
me to ask for his address.
Yes. Yeah.
So that he could send him a gift for his child. There was
Correct.
another one who was kind of like, down and out, feeling a little under the weather that day, a little depressed. I saw like 6 league players comment on his post right away.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you okay?
You good?
Come on down to Ohio and we'll have a
mix
great
it up.
time.
Yeah.
So they've created a bunch of friends. And
Yeah. Well, and you get to meet some really cool
like Corey
people.
says, it is like family. And I've always compared pool like that.
Yeah.
It is like a family.
Correct.
Pool's a very tight-knit sport.
It really is.
Players
As
are
big
close
and
together.
as as large as what pool is, it still feels like, and this is why I love going to Vegas, right? Whether it's BCA, VNEA, it doesn't matter. Like going to all of the CCS events, and wherever we go, we always know people. It's like going home and seeing family.
Pretty much.
Right? And I love it. I love that aspect. And we somehow call it what it is. We somehow created that within this league.
Yeah, we managed to fluke out and recreate it.
Yeah.
We knew it would be, enjoyable and a great format for the players and competitive and all that. I don't think we ever really anticipated how great the camaraderie would be.
No. That was one aspect that I didn't think. And to be fair, and I've said this before, I really didn't think that playing the Ghost would do good things for my game at all. I thought, well, it's going to be easy, right? And I'll tell you, for those of you that are out there on the fence going, well, I'm not sure, it seems kind of easy. Believe me, it ain't as easy as what you think it is.
The highest package ran this season was 11, I believe.
Yeah.
And I sat back thinking, somebody will run all 15 racks.
Yeah.
And nobody even came close.
No.
10 is very achievable.
Yes.
15,
10 happened quite a few times.
15 is not happening.
Yeah.
So it is much tougher than most people would think.
Yeah, 100%, Brett. Yeah, the pool community, there's nothing like it. I totally agree with you, Chad.
That's awesome, Corey, too. Sean needed a shaft, so he knew Corey was part of the league, and he went over to Corey's, borrowed a shaft. How awesome is that?
That's so wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love that camaraderie. I love that family feeling.
There's a lot more to the league than just shooting pool.
Yeah. Yeah. So with that being said, do we...
and sorry, Mark did 12.
Mark did 12, yes.
12 pack. Or was it just 12 in a match? I was talking about consecutive.
Yeah, you got a consecutive 12 pack.
Somebody did 13, but... Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Any other questions about the league? Let us know. We'll give another 30 seconds here if somebody does have any questions. If not, we'll wrap it up for today. We'll let you go. Really look forward to session 2. And I'll say this: if you compare session 1 numbers to session 2 numbers and the timing, we are looking really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And so if you guys have any other questions after we shut it down, of course, just shoot us a message.
Yeah, but Alan, I know you've got the ability, you've got the skill. I think especially at the start, it's a lot of nerves, kind of wrestling with the camera being on and the eyes being on you. I think you're due. Session 2. That's your time, brother.
So we hope to see lots of you guys signing up.
Yeah. Brett, I'm not sure. I can email you on that, Brett. We don't have those.
Yeah, best to send us a message for sure.
Yeah. But I can let you know.
Off the top of my head, I feel like you did.
Yeah. Hey, you bet, Chad. And so if you're a player that's watching this and you've signed up for session 2, we will be going live next Sunday. That'll be after cutoff, but pre-start. And we're going to run you through absolutely everything on the page, how to get there, what you need to do. That will be live on the CSL IPL players page. That is the private page. That's the one you go live to. So next week's review will be on that private players page. And we'll run you through absolutely everything. So if you're a player that's already signed up, make note. Yep. Next week it'll be
3 o'clock.
On 3 o'clock.
Yeah, 3 o'clock Mountain Standard Time.
Yeah.
Make sure you tune into that. Lots of good info if you're
Tons.
Playing the league. Get to watch a couple of practice racks as well. We'll give some examples.
Yep. So with that being said, guys, I think that's a wrap for us today. As Ben alluded to or said, if you do have any questions that we haven't answered, send us a message, an email, smoke signals, however you want to do it. We will find a way to get back to you. On behalf of myself, Ben Francis, Mick, all the players in the league, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching this. Hopefully it was some good information for you. And we'll see you in session 2.
Take care, everyone.